Okay, quick video how Docker, Jupyter Notebook, and VS Code work together on Cactus. So when I will log in on Cactus, I run on Cactus Jupyter Notebook. Or let me search for it, how I run it. So I run it with that command. I allocate some shared memory, name my Docker container, and expose 3 ports. This is for Notebook, this is for Hub, and this is for SSH. So SSH is exposed on the port 222, Jupyter Notebook on the port 9000. This is unlikely that you will use it. Okay, once I expose that, I can log in from inside, but this is not what you want to do in fact. What you really want to do, you want to log into it directly to the notebook from SSH anywhere where you are, of course, when you have a VPN on. So when I will open code, config file for SSH, what I have done over there, I add the entry which looks like this one. So in that entry I name the server Cactus JupyterHub+SSH. This is address. This is my login. This is the port. This is the port which is exposed from Docker container. Once I have it, I can log into it. Wait a second. So I can do something like that. And password, and I am inside of the Docker container. I should fix that, but because we jump into SH, but if you want to use bash, write bash, and then use a standard shell, which you probably are familiar. So you are in the home directory, but the home directory is not really home. Is home directory is Jupyter lukasz. This is the home directory, and this is exactly the same directory which you see when you log in. When I log in as a lukasz in the JupyterHub at the port 9000. So this is the same directory. In order to show you something, so cat echo test hello. So then when you see this file is created over here, it's exactly the same file. But what else you can do? You can, with SSH, when you connect host, you will see that thing which you put in the SSH, and then you will log in over there. What is the most important thing from development point of view? You can go. You can create the you can create the mofem install directory like you do in the standard way, and then clone everything in it and have own compilation. But this is the coolest thing which you can do. You can use the install from source MD, that you can have installation there. Wait a second. So what I can do, you should have that file automatically on the skeleton installed there. So I create the mofem install directory, and I clone everything what I want to it. Then what I do, this is only for check. I checking if I have all the packages. By standard, I compile it for generic architecture 64-bit x86 that it can work on Intel and AMD. This is how the image of the Docker container is made, but later on we can have specific architecture for the hardware, real hardware which we have running. Okay, so then the most important thing which you have to notice that every command which you put with Spark, you have to proceed with this thing. This means that it's reading the config file, generic config file for Spark, and then in that file is stored information. In that directory is stored information what compilers we have, what native system packages are. Once we have it, we can, for example, compile own version of Mofem, my personal version, and then this is in this particular. So I select the target, I select the build type, and then here I have install ID. That is super important because it's identified that this is my installation and this is associated with my ID. So when you every user has own unique ID, this is set by system. So my unique ID is UID. You can see like that. So it's 101. Yeah, of course you can run it over here. Okay, that's this install Mofem, but another important thing, it's using packages which are already installed on the system. So each of us don't install a new version of Spark. We're using one Spark which we share between each others. So it's cool as well. You can see over here. So when we for example, run the command like that, ask Mofem to list all the installed Mofem CPAS packages for given UID. So I have two versions installed with my install ID with the release and debugging version. If I will remove that bit, of course, I will see all the packages. So I will see the generic package installed by root, and this is 0, and this is to mine. So it's clearly no one else installed the package yet. Okay. So then against that, I can install my user modules, as you can see in that way. Those user modules. So this is I playing with some code, which is still not running correctly. So when I run the test, it's crashed. It's supposed to crash because it's wrong. So this debugging user module is not installed. But it's a cool thing that if you develop the code, you can test it in Jupyter Notebook. You can post-process. You can do various things. Of course, everything as well works in the standard way, because I have access to my code. I can change it, and then on top of that, I can modify that code in the terminal. I can compile things. I can do whatever I like you will do on laptop. If you like, you can even in some cases when I will log in on directly on the system. So for example, I can do something like that. I connect to the host. This host, wait a second. Bash. So I can do, for example, open files, which I have over here. Open folder. Okay. And then I can open installs from source. This is not working. I can open that one. And then I can even run Jupyter Notebook over here. Okay, enjoy. Thank you.